Welcome to BBC Sports Scotland with me, Jonathan Sutherland, and Stephen Thompson. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Jonathan.
We're going to predict the Premiership weekend scores completely accurately, possibly. We'll try our best. Leave your comments underneath the video. Use your emojis. Put your questions as well. We'll try and get through as many of them as possible. But yes, we're on the third floor here of the BBC, and a mail trolley's just going by. That's what that huge racket is. Thanks. There's no mail in it either.
It's all about timing, Jonathan. It's all about timing.
Absolutely. How's your day out in Edinburgh yesterday?
It was great, thanks. Yeah, did a bit of sightseeing, did the Christmas market, and then did the dungeons with the kids.
That sounds good.
It was good.
Did you leave them there?
No, we didn't. We didn't. It was rather scary, I have to confess, but no, it was a good day out. And then obviously went through to the game to commentate last night on the Hearts Rangers game.
Was it cold?
It wasn't that cold. I keep layering up because people keep saying, you know, it's cold when you're commentating, you're sitting down, but end up with too much layers on, so I end up sitting cooking. Plus,
you don't want to get too sweaty.
Alan Preston in his rucksack brought a heater.
All right, yeah.
A portable heater from Asda that he plugged in.
Yeah.
So it's actually like sitting in a sauna. But anyway, that's by the by.
That's great. Smelling good by the end of the show?
No.
What did you think of the game? I was gutted actually because I predicted a 2-2 draw.
Did you? I had 2-1 Hearts, so I get the score right.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the exact score. The game, well, the opening 20 minutes was kind of a fair contest. Both teams, you know, it was a frantic start to the game. Both teams doing reasonably well without much quality, and then Hearts took over for the last 20 minutes of the first half. Hearts were just totally dominant. They had massive performances actually. It was the first time in the flesh I've seen Bjorn Johnson, and he was spectacular.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
We watched him on Sports Scene at the weekend and he played well against
do you know what?
Motherwell.
He's just taking so much confidence from the weekend. You know, it's been Watt and salmon for however many weeks without really getting the rewards. He gets an opportunity last weekend. He grabs it with both hands. And last night he looked like a player full of confidence. I don't know if you saw the one where he takes the ball out of the air like at head height, and he is 6'6", controls it instantly and turns the Rangers' defence. His pass through for Jum, and him and Jum, the combination between the two of them and was almost telepathic at times. Brilliant. So Hearts had massive performances all through their team. You couldn't have picked one player that underperformed. I mean, it was virtually the perfect performance from Hearts, you have to say. And what a way to send off Robbie Neilson.
Well, absolutely. Did you get a selfie with Robbie Neilson?
Everybody else seemed to be getting one with him, Noah. But no, I didn't get one with him. It was funny listening to him not answering Chris McLaughlin's questions. Chris went to him probably about 3
times before the match at least.
But then after the match, I swear there was like 7 in a row.
I know.
And he was just like, not answering it.
I know.
But eventually, he kind of almost semi-answered it with the last question, and I think he'll be away today. But what a way to leave the club, you know, second in the league. For me, it is a strange one because I think it's probably the best time right now, certainly in a long time, to be a Hearts manager.
Well, they're second in the table.
Well, you're getting this new stand built.
Yeah.
They've just got the training facility, a state-of-the-art training facility. They're second in the league. They're posting profits. They can buy in January. They can, you know, it's sell-out crowds. It's a club that are flying high. So to leave them is strange. I think it's the lure of going to the English leagues, going to England and having the opportunity. But it doesn't always work. You've got to look at people like Stubbs.
Yeah.
You've got to look at people like Jackie McNamara.
Yeah.
Even Derek McInnes when he went down to Bristol City. Yeah. It's maybe not as easy as it looks. But maybe the opportunity might not come round again. So he's thought to himself, I've got to grab it.
Exactly. Keep putting your comments below the video. We'll get to one straight away. Tommy Purdy Allison says, how bad do you think Rangers are, Stephen? Do you think if Aberdeen beat Rangers this weekend, Warburton should go? I mean, that's strong stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that at all. I think Rangers are underperforming.
Yeah.
I watched them at Partick last weekend. I wasn't impressed.
Although you did get the prediction right.
I did get the prediction right, yeah. But it wasn't an impressive performance. They're not performing well. And if the results start turning, you know, we're talking about a team here that are second in the league. But what is good enough for Rangers?
Yeah.
You know, the expectation levels are that high. And the thing about them, the games that they've won this season have all, the games that they've lost this season, should I say, have all been against teams in the top 4. Celtic, Aberdeen and last night Hearts.
That's true.
So it shows a wee pattern that they maybe struggle against the teams that are better in the league. And I do think Partick would have beaten them last weekend had they had more firepower.
Okay, let's quickly go through your predictions from last weekend, shall we? So you went for Partick Thistle 1, Rangers 2, which was 100% correct, so well done
Happy
to you.
days.
Ross County 2, Hamilton 0. That wasn't so good, was it?
Well, it wasn't. You know, the late goal from Ali Crawford kind of put a spanner in the works there. I thought County would have won the match, but another draw for Hamilton.
I got that one exactly right.
Well done, mate.
Hearts 2, Motherwell 0 you went for? And that was 3-0 in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's a decent prediction.
Not too bad. I got it exactly right as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Is this the Jonathan gets his predictions right show here?
Just mentioning it.
Right, okay.
What did you go for? Dundee 2, Inverness Cali Thistle 2. And it was actually a 2-1 victory for Dundee, which, again, I predicted.
Right. Well, maybe you should actually be the one that predicts the scores, and I'll just not bother coming in on a Thursday. Is that right? Okay.
Well, to be honest, I've been terrible so far in this whole thing. But you are now in the Pundits League, 5th in the table.
Out of how many is there?
There's about
14, is it?
14, yeah.
So
you've got 470 points. I'm 6th now on 460 points, so you're still ahead of me. Yeah. So Alan Preston's still out in front with 700 points, which is quite impressive.
You have to say.
Okay, we also worked out that reprisal was not actually a word.
It's not, but it should be. I think we worked that out as well.
Yeah, okay. This weekend, Motherwell versus Celtic is the early kick-off on Saturday, 12:15 kick-off. Stephen, what do you think?
Right, okay, so I have Motherwell 0, Celtic 4.
All right.
It's fairly predictable to predict that Celtic will win the match. They've won their last 7 league games, only conceding 1 goal, that Koulibaly wonder strike, scoring 18 in the process. And I think after last weekend's League Cup final performance and win, it just, hammers home how dominant they are. And I think they'll be very keen to make sure that there's no complacency. All right, we've won a trophy. Does that mean we can take our foot off the gas? No, it doesn't. Motherwell poor at Tynecastle, you have to say. Sloppy goals they lost. I can't see any other score than a Celtic win, and I'm going for 4-0.
And JP Meredith says, should Celtic play with 7 men to give the others a chance?
They're not that good.
No, but that makes the point, isn't it? Okay, so 4-0 to Celtic against Motherwell. Tough day for Motherwell at Fir Park, you predict. Okay,
indeed.
All the games are on Saturday this weekend, so we're looking next at Hamilton Accies versus Partick Thistle.
Hamilton.
What do you think?
What have I got? I've got a 1 each draw.
Okay.
Which is no surprise, because Hamilton, as we all know, are the specialists. They've drawn 3 games in a row, drawn 6 of the last 8. They are the draw kings. Partick have lost 3 games in a row, and their next game after this one is against Celtic. So Partick really desperately need to take all 3 points from this game. I don't think they will. I think a draw, it's got draw written all over it for me. The last 2 games between the sides were draws. So draw.
A draw. Great. I'm having a few problems getting the comments up here. Got a few, but not all 26, so maybe we'll try and get some technical assistance in a minute. But anyway, let's move on next to Kilmarnock versus Dundee at Rugby Park.
Kilmarnock Dundee. Right. Kelly, no win in 3, albeit they played Rangers and Celtic within that time. They haven't scored in 3 games. Obviously, big Christopher Boyd's out injured, so that's a miss for them. The last 3 games between the sides have been draws. However, Dundee are resurgent with 3 wins in 4. So I have written down here Kilmarnock 0, Dundee 1.
Kilmarnock 0, Dundee 1. Thank you very much. Getting some of these comments in as well. Oh dear, this phone is so bashed, it's unbelievable. But
that needs a new screen. That needs a new screen quick.
Brilliant. Kilmarnock 0,
what if
Dundee
you don't cut
1.
your finger on that, Jonathan?
No, it's actually a fire hazard, I think, this one. But thank you very much for it nonetheless, because it's better than nothing. Oh, this is actually working really well.
Good.
But I'm not going to... Oh, Michael James Ryan says Kilmarnock 2, Dundee 1. So
right, well, Kilmarnock, as I said, haven't scored in 3 games. Dundee have won 3 of the last 4. That's how my head's working. So I'm going to go for a Dundee win 1-0.
Okay. Right, the big one. At Ibrox between Rangers and Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Huge match for both sides, especially after Rangers' defeat last night.
Yeah, it turns into
and also Aberdeen's kind of
this is the thing.
Performance last weekend against Celtic.
This is the thing. It's 2 teams that go into a game on Saturday off the back of really disappointing performances. For Aberdeen, they didn't manage to lay a glove on Celtic in that final. They were probably quite passive. They were passive. So they need to show a reaction. They'll have watched the game last night. They'll have watched how Hearts pressed the life out of Rangers, didn't allow Rangers time in the ball, and how effective it was. Yep. So don't be surprised to see Aberdeen setting up very similarly to how Hearts did last night, and not allowing Rangers any time and space in the ball, pressing them high, forcing Rangers to kick long, which they don't deal well at all with doing. However, I do think that there has to be a reaction from Rangers as well, because last night, from a Rangers perspective, was simply unacceptable. It was unacceptable for the players. None of the players reached anywhere near the level. Not a single player would have got more than 5 out of 10 in that match. And it was unacceptable for the manager. So for Rangers last night, it was unbelievably disappointing. There has to be a reaction. I'm going to go for a 1-each draw. I think it's very difficult to call. I think there's not a lot between the two sides. I think it's going to be an absolutely brilliant match. I'm also going to tip a wee sending off.
Who's that?
I'm not going to tell you who, but there's going to be a red card in the game.
Give us a name.
Got a feeling. I'm not going to give you a name. It's just a feeling for a red card. I've got that in my bones. In my waters.
The red mist.
My bones, whatever.
Water, bones. Somebody here, who's this? I can barely read. Oh yeah, Scott Innes says, Rangers' problem is not scoring the goals. They hold enough possession but aren't finishing. Oh, right. So Rangers' problem is not scoring the goals. They hold enough possession, but they aren't finishing off at the top of the park.
Well, they're not, and I think it's 19 goals for the season, and you compare that with last season at this stage, they were on 39 goals. So they're not cutting teams open the way they were last year. Obviously, they're playing against better teams in the Premier League. I'd agree with that. They aren't putting away their chances that they create, but there's a vulnerability about them as well. And they're not dominating games, especially in that midfield area. I feel in the last 2 games that I've seen them back to back, they have been dominated in the midfield. And last night, most worryingly, for me, they were outfought.
Yeah, okay. A lot of people predicting an Aberdeen victory, presumably Aberdeen fans here. Jack Middleton says,
fans.
Possibly,
fans.
Yeah, good point. Jack Middleton says, who's under more pressure on Saturday, Aberdeen or Rangers? That's a good question.
It is. They're both under masses of pressure, but I would say Rangers are under more pressure given the result and the performance last night, and with it being at home at Ibrox. The Rangers fans will quickly let you know, I've been on the back of that if things aren't going too well. So Rangers will want a good start to the match, a bright start. If Aberdeen score early, it's going to be a long afternoon for the Rangers players who are lacking confidence.
Mark Schenk says red card for these predictions.
Oh, well, cheers, Mark.
Let's move on. Bounce. I know, great. Ross County versus Hearts. What do you think?
What have I got? Right. So I've got Ross County 1, Hearts 2.
Okay.
It's only 1 win in 12 for Ross County, although they should have won last weekend. Hearts have won their last 3 visits to Dingwall, and people talk about it being a very difficult place to go.
Yep.
Hearts have won on the last 3 occasions they've been there. In the 16 meetings between Ross County and Hearts, Ross County have only won 1.
Seriously?
And that's 16 meetings in the history between the 2 clubs. There's only been 16. So Ross County have only won 1 of those games. That is why I'm going for a Hearts 2-1 win, especially after their midweek performance. The only thing that could go against Hearts is maybe the Robbie Nielsen factor. He leaves. Does it have an effect on the players? Would there be a new manager in time? People are talking about Ian Cathro. Would it be Ian Cathro? If it is he going to be in place to go up to Ross County? Because they'll need to travel up on Friday. That's going to be the only thing, in my opinion, that would point towards Hearts not getting the result. Yeah, Ross County have been better in the last kind of 3-4 weeks. There's no doubt about that. There's been an improvement.
Yeah.
But having watched Hearts last night, I can't tell you how impressed I was with them. If they replicate that level of performance, which is difficult to do, but if they replicate that level of performance, I think they'll win the game.
Do you think Ian Cathro will be the next man in charge?
I do.
Is that just a hunch, or is that informed opinion?
Well, Alan Preston seems to have got it all figured out, but
that'll do, yeah.
It's a hunch.
Yeah. Okay, St Johnstone versus Inverness Cally Thistle is the final fixture for this weekend. I'm going to go to that one myself, but what do you think the prediction will be, Stephen?
I have St Johnstone 0, Inverness 1, and my reasons for that are, well, St Johnstone are kind of clinging on, trying to get into that top 4 pack. They're just outside of it. They've dropped down in terms of points. 1 win in their last 6 games with 3 defeats in there for St Johnstone. They've lost 3 of their last 4 home games. So you can see why I'm building a case here for an Inverness win. Inverness though, 3 straight defeats. So my case is kind of thrown out of court. 1 win in 8 games for Inverness. However, as their manager said, last weekend was their best performance of the season despite them having lost. I just don't fancy St Johnstone at home. There's something not clicking for them at home, so I'm going to go St Johnstone 0, Inverness 1.
Excellent stuff. Let's move through 1 or 2 of these comments before we go and see what you think, Stephen. Michael Harwood says Ross County to win 1-0 or 2-1. Ross County not playing that bad in recent games, just can't finish their tee.
Well, that was last week when we highlighted Schalke had 3 or 4 opportunities at the end of the match. They should have won the game last weekend.
Liam Boyce to get a brace, says Ryan Clark. Hearts will be tired from midweek game. Nielsen has gone. Well, Nielsen might be going.
Yeah, but today but we'll find out later.
Okay. And Don Eisner says Saints overly reliant on Swanson when he's not in his game. Virtually no goal threat. What about Stephen McLean?
Yeah, I don't know what Stevie's on for the season. I think it's 3 or 4. But Swanson's been the kind of main player for St Johnstone this season without a doubt, contributing with most of their goals.
Okay, that's about it.
Do you think so? Is that enough?
Yeah.
Enough?
Anything else you want to add?
Nothing really that's important. No. Get the coffees in.
Good idea. Yeah, it's my round again, isn't it?
Again?
Well, you got them on Sunday, didn't you?
Aye, right.
And speaking of Sunday, join us for Sports Scene, BBC 2, 6 p.m. Stephen and Michael Stewart returns. The return of Michael Stewart.
Yep.
That'll be good. Good to see him. Yeah, after his... Oh, I played in a football tournament with him the other day.
I saw him yesterday actually in Edinburgh. We had a coffee in Edinburgh.
Oh, that's very civilised of you. Did you get into an argument about anything
We didn't.
It
was very civilised. We just sat and had a coffee and then travelled to the game together, which was good because I didn't have a car parking pass, so I just jumped in his car and he got parked.
So you actually get on with each other off screen, in reality?
Well, was that such a strange thing to... a strange concept to...
No, I know how close you are. Yeah.
Yes, so no, we had a wee coffee yesterday before we went to the game. So
fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, Stephen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonathan.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you very soon.